everyone, it's Hayes, and in today's video we are finally going to be ranking / me telling you what my top 10 favourite episodes are in Miraculous Ladybug. Now hopefully you already know this, but if you don't then how dare you?
How dare you?
But I recently uploaded a video going through the full Miraculous Ladybug timeline, and in order to do that video, one of the reasons why it took so long is because I had to rewatch the entire show. And it also took a while because it was also a nightmare. But I did have to rewatch the whole show. So I have recently finished the rewatch. It took 5 months of research altogether, and I finished watching the show at like the end of February. So I spent the rest of the time sorting the script out because it was a nightmare. Like I said, God. But as I have literally just finished rewatching all the show pretty recently, I have a good idea which episodes are my favourite and which episodes are not. So in today's video I'm going to be ranking my top 10 episodes, and then right after this I'm going to do the bottom 10, which will hopefully see you next week. Spoilers pending. I don't know, spoilers are starting to happen, so I'm like, I don't know, my video schedule is messed up. Now, as I've just stated, this is my top 10. My opinion, these are my top 10 episodes, okay? There are over 100 episodes now in the show to pick from, including specials, even though I haven't included specials on this list because they're a bit different to me. Okay, but anyway. So there are over 100 episodes. I will be absolutely astounded if not only you end up with the same 10 episodes as me, if you put them in the right order as well, the same order as me. There is at least one episode on here that I feel like I'm the only person in this fandom who actually likes, which I'm completely fine with. As I said, because it's my top 10, I am expecting an absolute maximum about 10 of you at a push to share maybe 3 episodes with me. Other than that, I am absolutely expecting your top 10 to be different to my top 10. That's completely fine, that's completely normal. As I said, it's over 100 episodes, not like I've only got 20 to pick from. Over 100. So I know your list is going to be different. Don't worry if you disagree with me. I know some of you get really worried when you come up with a different opinion to me. Please don't. I want to know what your top 10 are, even if we share no episodes. None of it's the same. I would absolutely love to know what your top 10 episodes are. Now, the episodes on this list aren't necessarily what I think are the best written episodes of the show. Don't get me wrong, there is some crossover. I think some of the episodes on this list are very well written. Others on the list, I can take it or leave it. I think the list for the best written episodes of the show will be very different to this list. Now I know I am a professional writer, and when I review the episodes, when I do the commentary after it's aired, I do review them looking at them from a professional writer's perspective. However, just for me, maybe it's not for you, but for me, the writing quality doesn't always matter that big of a deal when I go back and rewatch an episode just to watch my favourite TV show for fun. I do believe you can still enjoy something even if the writing isn't amazing. For example, you're probably slightly surprised by this, but I really love to watch Major League Wrestling. Now, do I think it is top-notch, platinum quality entertainment? No. In fact, I think it's one of the worst TV shows ever made in terms of quality. However, I really enjoy it because I just have fun when I watch it, and I have fun, okay? That's what this list is about. So it's the same with the season 5 episode Illusion. It didn't make it to the list, although it was very close. I don't think it's the best written episode of Miraculous by far. I don't think it's bad either, but it's not the best. I find it quite cringy, to be honest, and a bit embarrassing. But it's hilarious, and I really enjoy it every single time I watch it. So the episodes on my top 10 are the episodes I just love. These 10 episodes are the ones I watch when I'm feeling ill or when I've had a really bad day and I want to watch some of my favourite TV show. These are the episodes that cheer me up, that make me smile, that I enjoy the most when I watch them, regardless of the writing quality. Although we could totally do a list, if you want me to, about what I think are the best written episodes. This list isn't that. This is just the episodes I like to rewatch when I don't feel great. Basically, these are the episodes I personally enjoy the most, and it's totally fine if you disagree. I'm expecting the majority of you to. This is just for me, and I would love to know what your top 10 are. So, in 10th place, it's Risk. Alrighty. The memories I have attached to this episode. First of all, the day it came out, I was minding my own business. I was like, I'm gonna have a chill morning, I have PhD supervision in the afternoon, check my phone. screenshots of the episode. I'm like, what? And I was like panicking. I was like, okay, well, I need to get changed. My bedroom's small, so my wardrobe's in my brother's room, and I usually, when I know I'm filming in the morning, I go and get an outfit out. I had my risk outfit already planned, I already had it, so I was like, great, lucky, but he is still in bed, I couldn't go in and get it. But I was like, well, if I don't get it soon, that means I can't react to the episode, and then I can't film it, and then I can't edit it, and then I can't upload it, and the upload usually happens after lunch because of how long everything takes. And I've got PhD supervision that afternoon. Luckily, both of my supervisors were ill, which I found out right before I filmed the analysis. Like, was it after? It was some point in the morning. It was a hectic day. Unforgettable, I will never forget it. However, despite the day and the way it released, I do think it's a genuinely good episode. When it comes to Miraculous, I often have a bit of a problem with the part 1 of things. Not all of them, like I think Transmission is a pretty good part 1. However, a lot of the part 1s, like Catalyst is a really good example of this. They just serve to set up the second part, which, don't get me wrong, I know it needs that. So Catalyst works with Mayura, but Catalyst on its own is actually quite boring. So I don't really like it all that much. However, Risk was like a story of its own, and whilst yes, it was setting things up for Strike Back, it just made itself so interesting. I loved it. The prison ball scene, oh my god, I love it. A lot of the episodes on this list are due to the Adrianette in them. That's what I watch the show for. If you don't watch the show for Adrianette, you probably won't agree with a lot of this list, but that's fine. Okay, I know not everyone watches the show for Love Square. I do, but that's fine. So I love the prison ball scene. I love Marinette defending Adrian in the cafeteria. There was just so many good things about this episode, and I absolutely love it. So, in 9th place is Origins, but part 2, the second episode. I do like part 1, but part 2 just has a little bit more something. I've actually seen part 2 like about 10 times more than I've seen part 1. I just enjoy part 2 so much more. I really feel like Origins, both of them together, but especially the second half, the second episode, is where the majority of Marinette's character development lies. Don't get me wrong, she does develop over the course of the show, but I think she develops the most within these 2 episodes. Which is great, but I love them. I love how they're presented, how they're introduced, how Adrian develops as well. It's such a short space of time, but they both develop really quickly, but without it seeming quick. It seems a natural progression, and I think it's really good. A really good example of writing. They really knocked it out of the park for Origins, and then the effort has been like the bare minimum ever since. Well, not ever since. Some of these episodes have good writing in them as well since Origins, but you know what I mean. I'm like, they had great development then, and it's just been a bit like, anyway, ever since. I loved Alia in the episode, how the final fight went, where they're on the Trocadero and Marinette shouting at the Hawkcloth made of butterflies, and she just goes with a yo-yo. Amazing. And then of course the umbrella scene. I love the umbrella scene. It's great. It communicates so much without Marinette having to say anything. Adrian is doing a lot of the talking, but just the way he looks at her, the act of giving her the umbrella itself, and also one thing, I'm going to talk about this a bit more, but I love the way that hands are animated, where she reaches out for it, she's not really sure, like, do I touch it? What do I do? And he just kind of hands it. I just love the way it's animated. I think it's beautiful. You know, I don't care that much about the animation, so for me to make a comment about the animation says a lot, okay? I don't care what it looks like. Okay, they could give me a hand-drawn 2D animation. Do you know how the storyboards look? Not even like a proper, fully drawn 2D animation. Literally like slightly better than stick figures. I wouldn't care. I don't care what it looks like. But I do love the hand movements in Miraculous when it focuses on them. Beautiful. In 8th place is The Dark Owl, although I know a lot of people don't like this episode because of the animation in it. And I don't know what's wrong with the animation, like I said, I don't care. I don't know. But anyway, it's one of my favourite episodes, and also one of my favourite scenes from the show is the bit in the container with Adrian and Marinette where they close their eyes and detransform. I loved it so much. It was the opening scene of my first ever audio fic, My Lady. Go and watch it / read it if you haven't, because it's amazing. That scene in the container lives rent-free in my brain. I just absolutely love it. I still remember the first time I watched this episode, when that scene happened, I was dying on the inside. I was like, oh my god, they're gonna find out, they're gonna find out, they're gonna find out. I was dead. I was dead. Loved it so much. And another reason why I love it is all the hints and like nods towards Batman. I'm not a big superhero fan, hence why I'm here for the Love Square, okay? However, my favourite superheroes, Ladybug, Cat Noir, Batman. That's it. So I was like, absolutely, yes, loved it. In 7th place is Wishmaker. It's one of my favourite season 4 episodes. There was less Adrianette in this one, so it shows how much I like it because there wasn't a great deal about it. And yes, before anyone asks, I do still remember crying in the voiceover for the video when the first trailer for this released. Yes, I remember. Was it embarrassing? Yes. Obviously I was embarrassed because I remember it. I make so many videos that I don't remember what I've talked about all the time, what I've said. You could literally tell me, oh Hayes, do you remember saying this really weird and embarrassing thing in this video? And I'd be like, no, because I don't remember. I've made over 1,000 videos about this show. I don't remember what I've said in most of them, okay? But I do remember that one. It was embarrassing, but anyway. If you're wondering if you weren't here, basically, because it showed in the official trailer Marinette and Luca wandering around holding hands, and I was like, and they were getting ice cream, Andre's ice cream, I was like, are they back together? No, we can't. However, despite my visceral reaction to the trailer, I loved the episode despite the lack of any Love Square shenanigans. The reveal with Luca I just thought was done so brilliantly, like both scenes where he finds out one first and then the other, both times. It doesn't have the best payoff in Migration, but I'm like, I don't care. This episode on its own was amazing. I loved Wishmaker when it came out. I've loved Wishmaker before Migration came. I've just loved it ever since. I think it's great and it has some amazing, hilarious moments to offset what Luca is going to find out, like Jagged as a crocodile. It's a crocodile. I always get mixed up between crocodile and alligator. Whatever he is, Mr. Banana being Mr. Cucumber. It was just such a good episode. I heckin' love Wishmaker. I wish Migration was better. That would make Wishmaker even better, but I'm just like, I love it. Anyway, in 6th place is Mayura. First of all, this episode, one thing I love about it is the team up with the 5 of them. Ladybug, Cat Noir, Rena Rouge, Carapace, Queen Bee. Yes, I just feel that that is the team, you know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong, I love the rest of the heroes. I think they're doing a great job, apart from Felix. I think they're doing a great job. I like it, but when they all came together in Panel Team and when they all assembled at the end of Recreation, I was like, does it visually look cool? Yes, but I just don't get the same feeling as I did during Heroes Day. There's just too many heroes now, there's too many, and I just feel 5 was the perfect amount. I just loved it. The sewers, oh my god, the sewers scene with the wall between us, it's one of my favourite moments of the show, where they stood there because Alia, Chloe and Nino have been akumatized with the Scarlet Akumas, so they can't help anymore. They've gone down to like recharge, regroup, and Marinette's like, I don't know what we're gonna do. Adrian's like, we got this, my lady. And then they both run off the ends with their eyes closed and they transform into their aqua versions. Oh my god, I loved it. Such a good scene. Oh my god. Even if you're not a Love Square shipper, who doesn't not like that scene? Like, come on, it's such a good scene. Then they nearly defeat Hawk Daddy and that's going on, and he's using Lila for something which I just thought was genius. He's using her as Volpina, and then Natalie comes in as Mayura and she's gorgeous. And then the ending picnic where she kisses him on the cheek, and it truly was chef's kiss perfection. What is such a good episode. Maybe Mayura should have been higher than 6th place. Okay, I might move things around. I'll put it in a pinned comment, but oh my god, Mayura. Amazing. I loved it. In 5th place is Oblivio. Now I know it's probably a little bit cliche. I think this is one of the episodes going to be on a lot of people's lists, especially if you're like me and you do watch the show for the Love Square. So I know it's a bit cliche, but I also really enjoy this episode. It's not that serious of an episode if you think about it, but it feels like it is, you know? I love how innocent and sweet Adrian and Marinette are together, and again, the hands. So right before she does the Miraculous Ladybug and they're stood on the roof, and she's like holding the teapot with one hand and they're kissing as they hold hands. And whilst the kiss is great and all, one thing I love about that scene is the fact they choose to focus on the hands. So the hands are like this, and then as they kiss more, they squeeze hands, and I'm just like, I just love it. Okay, the kiss is great, but I'm more enthused about the hand squeeze. I just think it's absolutely adorable. I love it. And the way they act together, even when they both have amnesia and don't know what's going on, it communicates their true characters and how they truly feel about each other, and I just I really enjoy Oblivio. What a great episode. So in 4th place is Star Train. There are so many reasons why this is a great episode. It has Max's hero debut as Pegasus, and even though Max isn't my favourite character, I definitely think out of all the hero debut episodes, this is by far the best one after Ladybug and Cat Noir's debut. I do think this boy has the best hero debut episode. 10 out of 10. Star Train's a great episode. And also I love his relationship with his mum. They are so sweet together. I would give so many organs for an episode next season from Max's perspective. We get to see what living with his mum is like. I just love them together, okay? They're so sweet together. I love it. And then he saves her for his debut, which again communicates more about their relationship. And of course the Adrianette is adorable where she falls asleep on him. There's just so much to like about this episode. I think even if you don't like Adrianette all that much, you'll love Star Train. It's just such a good idea. I love it. Okay, into the top 3 now. In 3rd place is Despair Bear. So when I first started watching the show on the recommendation of a friend when I was really ill, I watched all of season 1 within like, I think it was like 3 days or something like that, because I was ill, I didn't have anything else to do. I couldn't do anything else, and season 1 was all on UK Netflix at the time. So I watched all of season 1 and I just said to my friend, I was like, hey, is there more? Because I was still ill and I was like, I've got time, where do I find more of this show? And she was like, oh, season 2 isn't finished airing, it's partway through airing. Despair Bear literally was on like a day ago. You're gonna scream when you see it. Because I'd already told her during this conversation I was really liking the Adrianette dynamic. And she was right. I love the dance scene. It's just everything to me. I do still don't really like the piece of music they dance to, but the scene itself, I can't. And then Alia comes in, it's a bit cringe, but I'm like, yes, Alia, thank you. And repositions the hands. It's great, but I love the episode itself. The setup for it is so cool with Tom at school and Adrian defending Marinette in the courtyard at school. And the Akuma I think is amazing. I love it. I think it's such a good episode. I love Despair Bear so much. In 2nd place is Party Crasher. Now I fundamentally do not trust anyone who doesn't like this episode. It is so much fun. It's also absolutely hilarious. It is one of the only lad episodes we get. I wish we got more of them, but who doesn't like Party Crasher? What is wrong with you? It is one of the best episodes of the show. It shows how much the boys care about Adrian. We often don't get to see that. We see plenty of times the girls going around to support Marinette, which is great. I love that for her, but I'm like, give us more Adrian. I want to see the boys' dynamic with him. And Party Crasher, such a good episode. I want another one. But then Marinette comes in and they do the like knockoff YMCA. And then Gaby Baby's getting trapped and he's like, why is there only joy in my house? And then the Akuma outfit. I don't really like Kim's debut in this episode. It's a bit like, okay, whatever. But like the rest of the episode completely redeems it. And I'm just like, this is such a fun episode. What is there not to like about it? Like, who doesn't like this episode? What? And finally, in 1st place, you all knew this was coming. You've all been sat here, if you've been subscribed to me since season 4, thinking like, she hasn't said it yet. Which place is she gonna put it in? Surely she can't be putting it in 1st place. Well, I am, because besties, in 1st place is my favourite episode of the show. I have seen this episode so much in both French and English that I can watch it with my eyes closed in both languages. Is the season 4 episode, episode 11, Guiltrip. It's my favourite episode and I get a lot of comments saying, Hayes, Guiltrip is really overrated, and I'm always like, well, I don't know who's been overrating it apart from me, because I think I'm the only person who actually likes it. But I love this episode. Season 4 had a lot fewer episodes set in the classroom compared to like season 1 and 2. So this episode was like a bit nostalgic for me because it was like classic Miraculous. It also had Rose's debut as Pigella, and I just thought it was the perfect debut for who she is as a character, saving Julika, who, I mean, I think they're dating. I know it's not confirmed, but to me they're dating. But then, of course, my favourite bit, the Guiltrip boiler room scene. I will never be over the way Adrian looks at Marinette in that scene. I absolutely love it. Like I said, I could watch it with my eyes closed in English and in French. I'm working on the Portuguese. I love it so much, and I don't care, okay, when I get comments saying, Guiltrip's not that good, Guiltrip's overrated. I don't care. I don't care, okay? You can all go and give your love to Cat Blanc or Recreation or whatever else your favourite episode is, and I will focus on giving all my love on Guiltrip. I know I am one of the only people in the fandom to love this episode as much as I do, and I don't care. I don't care. It's fine. The rest of you can all club together adoring Cat Blanc and be like, oh yeah, it's fine, it's fine. Guiltrip is the real best episode, okay? So. Anyway, besties, of course that was all just my own opinion. Those were my top 10. The top 10 episodes when I've had a bad day, I'm not feeling well, whatever's going on that's not good, I will sit down and watch, because I know without a doubt one of these 10 episodes, or I usually watch more than one because they're only 20 minutes long, one of these 10 episodes will absolutely put a smile on my face. So I'd love to know what your favourite 10 episodes were, besties, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!